Vic Hinkle. So I just sort of sat there and stared at it for a long time thinking, how have I never noticed this before? Like, is my house haunted? Who is Vic Hinkle? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm posting lots of guitar tutorials, playthroughs, and lessons. So if any of that is of interest to you, please hit subscribe and support the channel. It really helps us out. I want to give a huge thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far. We just passed 300 subscribers, so that's really awesome. So today I'm posting something different than I normally do. I promise we'll get back to lesson videos. I have one I'm working on for later this week actually, which will be really cool. But I wanted to share with you this crazy story that happened to me last week. And I just thought it was such a cool story. I wanted to share it with you guys. Plus, if you stick around to the end of the video, you get to hear the world premiere of a brand new song I just wrote this week. So the story is actually about my piano. I've had it for about 10 years, and I got it from a woman here in Billings off of Craigslist at a garage sale on the west side of Billings. And it was really, really beat up when I got it. As soon as I got it home, I called up Cy Zabrocki, local piano restoration guru, who at the time was in his late 80s, and he's since passed away. He did a lot of restoration work on the piano itself, including he put all new key tops on it because they were all busted up ivory pieces of junk. He took the action out, reshaped the hammers, did a lot of work to the piano, and it really, really sounds good. One of the craziest things, though, was while he was working on the piano, he had a card file, and he looked up the serial number of this. He keeps these crazy filing cabinets full of records on every piano he's ever worked on. So he pulled out the file of it, and turns out he's been working on this piano since the 50s, which is just crazy to me. And he told me that it was from a choir room at a school somewhere out in the country near Billings, maybe in Roundup or Shepherd or something like that. And so I didn't think much of it, but when we opened up the piano, there's a bunch of writing in there. There's some old phone numbers. It was just kind of cool. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. It's been in the area for a while, and a long while. I was kind of proud to have it as sort of a part of, Montana history or whatever. And it's a beautiful sounding piano, really great low mid-range sound for an upright piano. And according to Greg Deppner, who owns Montana Piano Company, it's one of the better sounding uprights that were produced in Chicago at the time, around the turn of the century. So anyway, I've had this piano for almost a decade now. I've played on it. We've had it at 2 or 3 houses. It's never been up against a wall or anything, but just last week I was sitting on my couch thinking about something. I look over, and on the side of the piano is someone's name carved in giant letters. And so I thought, wow, that is so weird. I've never seen that before. So I walk over there, and it says Vic Hinkle in big, large letters, and it's kind of creepily carved in there with a knife or something. So I just sort of sat there and stared at it for a long time thinking, how have I never noticed this before? Like, is my house haunted? Who is Vic Hinkle? So I was thinking about this over the week. I was pondering, who Vic could be, what his story was, because we know the piano was made in 1905. So who knows what's happened in that past 115 years. So I was kind of making up these various scenarios of who Vic was in my mind. Maybe he was like a race car driver or a long lost member of the Hinklehorn Honking Club. Maybe he was some kind of superhero or something. Maybe he was in the war. I thought I would eventually write some music based on this character in my mind of Vic Hinkle. And so last week I ended up making a Facebook post about it. And I posted the picture of Vic Hinkle carved into the piano. And I said a little bit about the story of me finding the name carved in and whatever. And then people started joining in, adding to this sort of mythology we were building about Vic Hinkle. Then people started searching online for Vic Hinkle, Montana, and Ancestry.com, and people were trying to figure out who Vic Hinkle was. Turns out I have a few friends who know a Hinkle family in the area, and they tagged them in the Facebook post and sent them messages. Pretty soon I get a message back from a Marilyn Hinkle saying, I'm married to Vic Hinkle. So I start chatting with her. I send her some pictures of the piano, and she says, yes, this is definitely my husband. So I ask her if we could come out and meet them and get a picture with Vic and just talk to him and see what his story was. So they said, okay. We chatted for a while. She was very kind and invited us out to meet them. So later that night, my friend Ryan and I got in the van and drove out to Shepherd to meet the Hinkles. Guys, we're in the car going to see Vic Hinkle right now.
Legend, vandalist, maybe more.
Is this Shepherd? Shepherd High School. Maybe this is where the piano was. This is where the piano was.
Fairly certain it's been rebuilt since.
I can't imagine what they're thinking.
I cannot either.
Who are these two dudes? I don't even know what we're gonna do when we get there. Just say hi and then.
I imagine it's going to be extremely awkward for a while, and then we're going to leave.
Yeah, that's about right. So we get out to the house of Hinkle. Turns out Marilyn and Vic are super, super cool people. Turns out Vic was a farmer who scratched his name into the piano at Shepherd School when he was in 7th grade in 1957. Never thought anything about it until now. So we didn't get any video footage with Vic, but we snapped a few pictures and listened to him tell us a little bit about his life. It was pretty cool. He's a farmer and has a huge family around the area. He told us some great stories about drag racing up on the rims, him and his brother getting in fights with people when they were kids, and never really played music at all, although he has a lot of grandkids and family around the area who are great musicians too. And we actually have quite a few mutual friends. It's another small world coincidence. I guess in the end, it's just a cool example of how everything we do as people has an impact on everything around us, whether we realize it or not. And sometimes actions we do today will last well into the future and generations beyond us. So we always need to be conscious and thinking about our actions in our day-to-day lives. So that's the story. We drove back to Billings. It was a great day and just great to meet some people from the area and learn a little bit of their history and make some new friends. So here's a little piece of music I wrote for Vic on the piano. Keep in mind, I'm not a very great pianist, although I do play quite a bit. Here's Theme for Vic. Thank you guys for sticking around. Please hit subscribe, help the channel grow, and we'll get back to lessons later this week. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.